Okay, you guys are gonna really have to bear with me on this video, okay? Had an idea. I got a whole day to kill, and I'm not sure where this video is gonna land, but I had an idea. Let's get into it. So, waiting for people to change.
That most men live lives of quiet desperation. It's one of my favorite quotes ever because it's true. You're just in this world where you just can't wait to just run away. But I think one of the reasons why these people have this deep-seated anger and resentment is there's a bunch of people out there that have these lives that are deeply unsatisfying. Because I think there are so many people that are working all day long doing something that is deeply unsatisfying and almost painful.
Yeah, it's soul killing.
Soul killing. They're stuck in traffic all day, and then they're stuck in a cubicle after that. They relish the time to take a in the bathroom and look at their phone. I mean, they literally do that. That's a highlight of someone's day. They get in traffic on the way home. They get home after that. They're watching television, and they're if people have a regular day job, if you could just find one thing that you do as a passion project and just keep building on it, just keep watering it, keep adding fertilizer, keep giving it attention, keep giving it focus, and you can escape. You can escape, and you can be self-serving. You could be okay. You're gonna be okay. Making furniture feels good. If you make furniture for a living, and you feel a great satisfaction out of that, and you sell that furniture. Look, man, if you can do that, you could cut those corners perfectly and sand everything down nice and stain it, and then it's done, and you get this satisfaction, and you sell it to someone, and that pays your bills. That is infinitely more satisfying than being stuck in some fucking cubicle working for someone that you don't want to work for, having to have these stupid fucking office meetings, talking to people in human resources, sitting down with your supervisor where they evaluate your job performance, and you're not really, you really need to be enthusiastic about this company. This company is your future. This kind of you're like, fuck, kill me now. There's a lot of people out there that would way rather do something else, and I hope they understand that they can. And people that are trapped in bad situations, one of the problems is you feel like this is your future. You feel like you're fucked and you can't get out of that. There's no hope. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. There's no rainbow. And if you feel like that, that alone can be incredibly defining and limiting. But if you look at yourself objectively and say, okay, I kind of am fucked here. I'm in credit card debt. I'm working in a shitty job. I don't like what I'm doing, but I have some ideas. I need to feed those fucking ideas. And I need to feed them and water them, and I need to set aside a certain amount of time every day to just try to make those things happen. You can do that. Everyone has a different personality. They have different interests, different things that they would be really satisfied pursuing. That's not encouraged. What's encouraged is go find a job. What's encouraged is go find some place that you can shove yourself into. Go find a square hole that you can stick your round peg and just jam it in there and shave down the top and the bottom so you slide in with all this extra space on the sides and feel like shit for the rest of your life because you need a job, because you're in debt, because you have credit cards, because you have student loans, because that's what everybody does. And so you do it too. That's what's wrong. You have an apartment you have to pay for. You have a car you leased. You have a wife that you have to feed. You have a child you have to raise. You have your mortgage. You have your this. You have your that. And that's where it all comes from. Well, the opportunity takes place usually when you're young and you don't have any responsibility. That's when you have your options. Well, your options are severely limited the more you gather responsibilities. Like if I had to, as a 51-year-old father of 3, married man, pays taxes, has a house and a mortgage and a business and all that jazz. If I had to quit everything now and struggle the way I struggled as a stand-up comedian, it would never work. But the only way I could be this person now is if I took that chance when I was 21, when I was dead broke and had my cars repossessed and all that stuff. That's the only way you ever get where you want to go. You have to take a path that's dangerous. And most people want to take the safe path. And the safe path leaves you stuck in quiet desperation. Almost every time. It's hell. It's hell.
But can people just make that change? I mean,
Yes,
look,
you can,
I believe they
but
can.
you have to plan it out. The way you can change is you have to put aside enough money to give yourself a window. And then you have to have a plan. And you have to spend all your waking hours outside of whatever job you do planning your escape. And you have to come to the realization very clearly that you f***ed up and you got yourself stuck. So whatever you're doing, you have to do it like your life depends on it. And whether it is you're trying to be an author and if you're gonna try to be an author and you're working 8 hours a day plus commuting plus family responsibilities or whatever else you have, whatever time that you have to attack like you're trying to save the world. You're trying to save your life. You don't want to drown. That 1.5 hours a day that you have to write, god damn, you better be caffeinated and motivated. You got to go. You got to get after it. And you got to have discipline. Most people don't have those things. Most people don't understand what it's like to really go for something. And to know that the consequences of not doing that are horrific. I think here's an important thing too. Failure is important.
It is important.
I think failure teaches you things that you don't learn from success. I think failure gives you an opportunity for self-examination and also gives you a feeling that is very uncomfortable. And that very uncomfortable feeling helps you grow. That when you feel like you screw something up, like when I've had bad podcasts, my podcast has always gotten better afterwards. When I've had bad stand-up sets, I've always gotten better after that because those bad sets motivate you. They give you a perspective like, hey, here's some clear examples of where you f***ed up.
Yeah, what not to do.
Yeah, don't look at these failures as like proof that you suck. Look at them as opportunities for growth. Look at them as opportunities to be motivated to do better. You have to make mistakes. You've been there, you feel it, you understand what it is, and then you have that time to adjust. That's why losing in life is so important. Whether it's getting dumped, getting fired, losing a game, loss. Those feelings where things didn't work out your way, that's important because it lets you know this is the bad feeling that comes when it goes wrong, and you improve, and then it makes the good feelings of victory all the better. And I mean that, in a relative sense, like even getting good at something. Forget about victory, like making a terrible book that gets rejected by every publisher and then writing a really good one and people accept it and you're like, fuck, I got better. Yes. Like that's that
that's
feeling.
interesting, yeah.
Those feelings of failure are really critical for your motivation. You see an old person walking down the street, you go, oh, that person's always been an old person. No, that was a baby. That was a baby that became a 90-year-old man. There's a progression that you're not witness to. You don't see it. And that takes place in everything. It takes place in authors. It takes place in comedians and musicians. There is a starting point, and then with time and focus, and as long as you reevaluate and reassess and constantly, objectively look at what you're doing and then pursue it with passion and focus, you get better at things. Don't be scared of failure. I think failure is awesome for you.
Okay, you guys are going to really have to bear with me on this video, okay? Had an idea. I got a whole day to kill, and I'm not sure where this video is going to land, but I had an idea. Let's get into it. So, waiting for people to change. It's a weird thing, right? Why do we do it? And you know what? And what's even weirder is when people who are waiting for you to change, you make those changes, and then you look at that person and go, huh, now you need to change. Okay, let's just get into it. So, how do we start this? I just don't know if I should use myself or if I should just generalize. Okay, I'll use myself, and I'll just tell you, I just won't say any names, but I'll just kind of give you some of the things that I'm thinking about. Okay, so, waiting for people to change is weird, right? Because if it's someone you care about, like say a friend, you want to see them do better, right? You want to see them make positive changes in their life. Maybe you have selfish reasons because maybe they're a burden, maybe they're a worry, or, but you wait and you anticipate them changing, and it doesn't seem like they ever will. You know, they're always the same patterns, same habits, same this, same that. My question is, okay, should we be doing that? Should we even be entertaining that thought? Or should we just simply accept them from who they are? Especially if we care about them, because we initially cared about that person for the person that they are. You know, like why do we want them to change? You know, I'm gonna go all over the place here. So in many of my relationships, I was put under a lot of pressure to change, right? But there was a lot of people who depended on me not to change. It's weird, right? Now that I've made certain changes in my life, it's funny. I can look at some of those people and kind of like the roles are reversed. I'm looking at some people and I'm thinking, wow, you need to make some changes. But why would I say that? Maybe I have that attitude because maybe that was forced upon me. So I'm thinking maybe that's kind of a little bit of, well, in some cases, I'm looking at them and saying, no, it was actually you that needed to change, or, can you not see these changes, or are you blind to these changes? Why do we want people to be something else? Why can't we just accept them for who they are? Maybe we want them to change because we want to invite them in our circle, and we won't invite them in our circle unless they make certain changes. Maybe that's part of it, right? Kind of like a I love you type thing, but I'm not going to take that extra step unless you make these changes, right? Yeah, that could be it too. What if you're in a relationship, right? And you need your spouse or a girlfriend or boyfriend to make some kind of change, right? But was that a change you already knew about? Or did you out evolve each other? You started changing, that person didn't change with you? But that'll come down to emotion, right? The emotion you have for that person will dictate a lot of that perception on change, right? Like, I have a couple friends. One friend in particular. No, two. One that doesn't know how to change. And one is not willing to see change. um, um, Not willing to see it and afraid of change, that I can relate to. It's, you get comfortable with something. Um, Life makes sense, the world makes sense in your own little bubble. And no matter how much you care about something or someone, you're not willing to maybe make some of those changes or explore some of those changes because you don't know the end result, right? Or you're not willing to see those changes because you're afraid if you see those changes, that'll put you in a position where it might make you feel something, right? um, so I kind of guess my point is, do we wait? Do we wait for these people to change? Do I wait for my two friends to change? Do I continue to put the pressure on both of them? To make that leap, right? Because I know that pressure was put on me for a long fucking time. Scott, you need to change. Scott, you need to change. Scott, you need to change. Hey, I made all those changes and I'm still fucking sitting here alone. So, kind of messes with your head a little bit, right? Messes with your head a little bit. You know, um, you know, I was never afraid of change. It's just, my problem was always, I was always stuck in two different worlds. It seems like I couldn't, you know, like right now, I have no problem with change. Change is hard for me because I'm bipolar, but I have no problem with change. I look at the situation. I'm like, okay, man, you got to adapt. You got to change. You got to do this, and I can do that, right? Because I have the freedom to change at my speed, my way. You know, if I change something in my life, whatever I'm doing, or with whoever I'm with, or whatever I decide to take into my life, like say a cat, that doesn't affect my job, right? It doesn't affect who I am at my job. It doesn't affect who I am with my friends. 10, 15 years ago, the changes I needed to make, what affected my job, what affected my relationship, what affected my friends. So it's sometimes people don't look at the grander scope of sometimes people are in a position where they maybe can't change, and that's how I'm trying to look at my two friends, or I even can say three friends. Like, of course they're all women. That's the way it goes with me. So I ask myself, are they in a position where they don't have the freedom to change, or the freedom to make choices to welcome change? One friend, she's bipolar. She has a lot of other issues, but I think for her, right now, because I thought a lot about it, and I've stopped putting the pressure on her for that. It's for the simple reason I'm like, okay, Scott, let's say she makes the changes in her life that you want her to make. Now, stop being selfish for 2 fucking minutes and try and see how that change would affect her life, right? Especially being bipolar. So once I sat back and did that, I'm like, this is who she is. This is her life. those changes that she would have to make for me would really fuck her shit up. So that was pretty selfish of me to ask certain things of her. So now I don't. I hope she's willing to take certain steps someday. But I think she will. Without getting too much into her personal life. When certain realities finally strike her, I think that's when it'll happen. Whether I'm still around to see her or not, I have no idea. I hope I am. She is a really good friend of mine. But that's it. I had to really step back and stop thinking about myself, right? And say to myself, no, this is who she needs to be right now. And accept her for that. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm not going to stop being her friend. I'm not going to stop taking her calls. This is who she is right now. And I have to accept that. And put my personal feelings aside. My other friend has known me for a really long time. And the thing with her, it's weird. She was someone who pressured me for a long time to change. You need to change, you need to change. What she didn't understand is that wasn't a simple thing to do. Because it would have affected a lot. And it did affect a lot. But now that I have made all those changes, she can't see me as who I am now. She can only see me as I was, which is really fucking strange, because you think for the amount of pressure that was put on me to make these changes, and those changes have been made, she's not willing to see them, which is very, very, it's very puzzling to me. So I'm thinking, okay, but I'm trying to see it, trying to flip this. Should I give a shit that she shouldn't? Should I keep putting pressure on her to open her fucking eyes to allow this, take the blinders off her, and show her that? How do I? Should I bother putting the effort into showing her that I've made these changes, right? Should I explore the idea of what's going to take? What is going to be a sledgehammer to your face to acknowledge that I've made these changes that you've wanted for so long? Then we have friends. Which is this is a weird one too. This one friend of mine, which is really weird. She needed to make a lot of changes in her life, a lot. And what's weird, and it got me thinking about myself, and I'll tell you why. She's made a lot of changes in her life. Okay. I know she has. But it's weird when I talk to her, she's still the fucking same. Does that make any sense? It's weird. I know, and she made some really fucking drastic changes, to the best of my knowledge. she's still the fucking same. Like, it's, I don't know how to describe that. It's almost like I'm not seeing the changes. Like, I know you've changed, but I'm not seeing it. So it leads me back to my other friend who was just talking about before this. Maybe that's what's happening with her. Even though I've changed so much, something's yeah, but I know all the changes she's made though. This other friend of mine, she has no clue. She doesn't, have a clue the changes I've made. She doesn't want to know, she's afraid of knowing, right? Because it'd be like, well, this is what you wanted. Here it is. She doesn't want to have that conversation. But my friend who's made all these changes, it's still like she never changed, and I want her to change, and I want her. There's certain changes I want her to make, so we can become better friends. I don't think this is a romantic thing. I just, because we've known each other for so long, so I think uh, there's changes I want her to make to allow us to become closer, to have more intimate conversations. Because like 5 minutes, like this is someone I used to talk to all the time, and 5 minutes into talking to her, I'm just like, it's the same old shit. Yes, you've made all these changes in your life, and I'm happy for you, but I'm hearing the same fucking rhetoric, the same shit. So how is that possible? How can you have made all these fucking changes in your life, but you're still this? And so I look at myself. Okay, well, did that happen to me? Did I have this transition period where I made all these changes, but I was still, something that. So back to the original point. Like, do we wait? Do we? Do we wait for these people to change, or we just simply tell ourselves, accept them for who they are? But then it depends, right? It depends how much they impact your life. Are you watching from a distance, or are you watching from a real close proximity? I told you I don't know where this was going, but I'm just fucking talking here. I miss my manic life. It was so much simpler. Seeing things just one way. Now it's like I'm seeing things from way too many angles, way too many perceptions. But you don't want to fall into that trap where it's like, oh, I don't give a fuck it, just fuck it. It's good and it's healthy to ask questions and then to second guess yourself, or try and see it from that person's side. Doing so is a fucking burden for sure. I just don't think it's healthy to not do that. There's mornings I get up and I feed Sam, and everything's fine. I feed him, go outside on the porch with him, fucking does his little routine for 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, you done? Fucking, rubbing up against me in the poles, and I tell him, you fucking done? Can I go inside now? And and there's days where it's just he's doing his routine, and it's just like I'm like me not knowing what he's trying to do, or not be able to have a conversation with the fucking cat drives me fucking crazy. Do I want this stress in my life? Do I want this to be bothered with the thoughts of worrying about this cat? Buying cat food, fucking, wondering what he's going through. Where is he sleeping? And that's the same with people and friends, right? Like, I'm always worried about the people close to me, but I only had the ability to do it through a manic lens, right? I didn't have the ability to see it beyond that. Like, I know there's people out there that wish I didn't change, for sure. I guess for a variety of reasons. I know what they are. I don't blame them. That change came with a lot of solitude, though. Which was definitely hard at first, right? And you wondered yourself, second guess yourself, right? Should I really be making these changes? Well, if you're in a relationship, right? You need your husband and wife to make certain changes. Oh, fuck. I don't know. Were they like that when you first hooked up, or did things happen? They didn't know about or weren't expecting. Then you find yourself saying, "Fuck, I can't live with this." And it happens, man. It happens all the fucking time, right? There's one thing about my manic life. One skill that I had, I was really, really, really good at multitasking. Like, I had a lot of focus when it came to certain things. Now it's just like seems overload. Worrying about my friends, people close to me. Um, Decisions used to be easier, and we're we're not talking that long ago. It's not like I was a child. You know, I was in my 40s, and fuck, things seem so simple. Or black and white, right? For me, they're black and white. These are black or white. Either wrong or right. There's no fucking gray. There was no other side of the coin. uh, I don't know. But do you give up on your friends? You know? Like, I don't know how to do that. I just don't. Like, once you have a connection with, your friend, what's up, Sam? He's hanging out today. You don't want to give up, right? And there's different levels of giving up. Some people say, don't overcomplicate shit. Don't make it overcomplicated. Well, my point of that is, well, if I don't, then who will? Right? Then who will? If I'm not going to think about this for us, someone has to, right? If we want this friendship or this arrangement or whatever to evolve and last, someone has to communicate something, right? Can't just always, I just accept that and accept that, whatever. You know, you can't. You can do that, but then nothing changes, nothing evolves, and becomes cynical and fucking. Having a busy life definitely does affect your life a lot. You know, for me, I couldn't have made a lot of changes if I didn't have the time to do it. Because I was always going at 150 miles an hour. It's like today, for example. The company truck is being used today, so I can't go to the gym until after work. So I'm not busy. So I'm just sitting around, hanging out, relaxing. And of course, I had a thought, and then that thought kind of expanded and expanded and expanded. And it's like, oh, Jesus Christ, I need to do a fucking video. Now, if I went to the gym today and I was busy like I normally was, this day would have been fucking full. I had no time to even entertain the thought of this, and that's what it was for 25, 30 years, right? I just didn't fucking stop. My one friend, listen to this. She actually told me that exact thing. She says that's why she doesn't relax. She's afraid to relax because she knows where her head goes. I'm like, babe, like, that scares you? Like, yeah, she doesn't want to stop. Just keep go. She's afraid. I don't know if she's afraid of her own thoughts. maybe there's, maybe it's like my cocaine use when I use cocaine. It forces me to be real honest about my life, the choices of making, this direction I'm going. It forces me to do that. That's what I like about it. It's impossible to lie to myself on that drug. So it keeps me straight and honest, and but that's a good thing, right? Whether we need friends for that, hopefully, good friends that tell you the truth without any bias, or selfish reasons. They're just saying, "Hey, this is what I see," honestly, right? She's afraid of that. Hey, maybe my other friend who drinks, maybe that's why she drinks. And she only drinks when she's not busy. So maybe that's what drinking does. Doesn't allow her to think. Maybe that's what it is. I get it. Fuck, believe me, I get it. I get why they don't want to stop. Why people don't want to take time out to ask themselves the hard questions, I get it, man. I've been through it. It's fucking hard as fuck to be honest with yourself and to make those changes, and it's too much fucking work. It's just easier to be stuck in your own little bubble, comfortable bubble and routine, right? Hey, believe me, that's the most comfortable thing for someone who's bipolar, is a nice, safe, comfortable routine. That's not eventful. That's the healthiest for people like us. But as much, in saying that, I know that, well, as much as that would be really healthy for me, prevent, manic stress and manic flare-ups, I don't grow that way. I don't learn. I don't evolve. So my friends are kind of left with me staring at them now. I'm like, hey, roles are kind of reversed. Not sure how I feel about that. I do have one buddy though. He's a really good friend. Very honest man. We have some pretty honest conversations, which is nice. I do enjoy our talks for sure. Of course, with my confusing attachment issues, it's like having these conversations outside of the gym for some way would make it extremely personal for me, and that would fuck up my shit. It's like I was going somewhere, and then it was about to get really complicated, so I stopped thinking because I couldn't get it straight in my head, so I had to give up on that thought. Oh, I don't know, 37 minutes. Just trying to think if there's anywhere else I want to go here with this. I wonder if I was about to say try not to worry about all this stuff I just said. But when those moments interactions occur, try and give it 100% of your attention, and while you can, not dismiss those moments. Man, I'm not sure if that's right. I'm not sure what I just said made sense. All comes down to emotional attachment, though, right? That's what it's all about. Attaching yourself emotionally. That's what it is, right? That's all it is. Because if you don't attach yourself emotionally at some level, what do you give a fuck if they change, not change, want you to change? All of the above, right? So you have to ask yourself, each person in your life, how emotionally are you connected to that person? How emotionally do you want to get connected to that person? And how long you want to stay emotionally connected to that person. It's all emotion, eh? Okay, I'm going to end it on that fucking note. I actually think Sam wants some attention. He never hangs out on the porch like this. But then again, I'm not really home right now, right? Anyways, I don't know. I'm rambling now. So see you guys again. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. God bless you all.